Hello, amazing people. So this is one of the most amazing things I cooked during Ramadan, and I made chicken samosa and then chicken spring roll. Yeah. So the first thing I did was cut out my chicken skin, since I'm only using the skin for spring roll, and then I removed the beef part and deboned the normal chicken for the samosa. So right now I'm chopping out my chicken as small as I can so that it would be minced. Now you can easily just get your minced chicken or your minced meat for this instead, but I wanted to do it with what I had at home, so this is what it gave me. Now this is the skin and the muscle part that I felt would be hard to chew, so I don't want to put it in a samosa. I wanted it to be in the spring roll, so I just seasoned with oregano, salt, and then seasoning cube, and I set aside. Now for my vegetable stir fry for the spring roll, I cut out my cabbage in slices and I made sure they are long strips. I added it into not too hot water but not cold water so that it would remove out its juice, so that the sauce won't be watery. For my samosa, I added it to a pan and then I fried well. I fried something in the pan before, so I didn't add salt at all so that it will come out seasoned. Now this is for the spring roll. I added in the skin, a little oil, and then scotch bonnet, because if there's no spice in it, then what is the amazingness in it? So I added in my cabbage and then my spring onions and a little soy sauce to use instead of salt, because I don't want it to be salty. I already added a little salt to the chicken skin. Now for the batter. So the first thing I did was sieve out my flour, added in my corn flour with just two normal regular spoon of corn flour and then one egg, and then I started adding water gradually until I got the consistency I want. Now the consistency is because I'm using brush. If you're using your hand, it should be thicker than this because you don't want it to hurt you. So I'm using brush. You have to be careful with using brush because any hair strand from the brush, anybody that hits it will think it's your hair. And definitely, how many people do you want to be explaining to that is not your hair? So be careful with that. So after I've made my batter and I've removed it, I started the rolling. So this is the tutorial of rolling. So please, I want you guys to be attentive at this point. So you use the side that is the whiter part should be outside, and the part that looks a little bit brown should be inside. So this is me putting in the sauce into the thin pastry, and then I rolled over and then I pulled to my side. So you'll be doing a lot of pulling, and you have to make sure your thumbs and your hands are very firm. All your thumbs, it has to be very firm. Then you hold on to that part and then you add the same batter you used to make the samosa wrap in the first place. Is going to be what you use for gum. So I'm going to do that again. So this is number 2 tutorial of the same spring roll, so you understand how to roll. You have to really put into consideration the tips because you don't want spring roll falling into oil. First thing, add in the whiter part under and then the browner part inside. Add in your base, your filling, then roll forward, pull the left sheet into the middle, pull the right sheet into the middle, and you keep rolling until you get to the end, and then you add in your glue and then you roll. You see how tightly I'm holding it. You don't just roll, you make sure it is firm and you're going to get it. You can rewatch this part 2 or 3 times for you to get it, but it's a no-brainer. Once you've gotten it, it's always easier. So this is all the spring rolls I did for the day. I stored in the fridge for days later and I still enjoyed it. Anyway, this is now the samosa tutorial. It can be very tricky at times, but me, I'm promising that by the time you try it for the family and you try first time, second time, you're going to be very good at it the more practice you do. So you layer your samosa wrap, that round one you did, you're going to layer like 4 or 5 together, and then you're going to cut out both edges, and then you're going to cut it into 2 like I did. Now for the samosa, you turn over to your hand and then you cover with the edge. You add in your samosa and you make sure you keep turning it in a triangle shape. Keep turning, and then you add your gum and then it's ready. I think I'm going to do another tutorial for that, the same way I did for spring roll, so that you get it well. So you unwrap your one of the sheets, and then you hold on to it. You turn to the other side, you glue it. You make sure you turn to get a triangle shape. That's the edge. If you have gotten that first triangle shape, then the rest is easier. You add in your beef or chicken, whatever you mint together, then you turn. Make sure the triangle edge, the first edge, is touching the side of the wrap. Just make sure you keep getting a triangle the more you turn over, and then you keep practicing and you get it. So this is me deep frying it. It has to be deep fried because you want the things inside to also cook, and the brown exterior for the crunchy effect. This is what it looks like. It was fantastic. It was fresh, and I'm glad you guys enjoyed watching it. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Bye guys.